Good afternoon, traders. I'm Michael Sabo with RJO Futures here on Friday, April 12th here in the afternoon, bringing you some commentary here in the energy markets. What an exciting day we've had here today so far. We've got crude prices under pressure here quite a bit. We've had a pretty big range on the day here. From the highs to the lows here, we've seen a range so far today of around $3.25. Currently, crude is trading here right now down around $91 a barrel. We're off about $2.50 here. That equates to about a 2.5% move here to the downside. We've been as low today as around 90.27. Let's take a look at here, the relationship here. I want to talk for a second here between what we've got going on here in the Brent and the WTI. We've really seen that spread narrow. I've mentioned that many times before in some of my prior posts, and at one point here that spread had narrowed down here to, we were right around about the $12 to $13 area. So since that time here though, the Brent has started to come back a little bit. Brent was down here at one point here around the same amount. Now Brent's only off here around $1.25 here, trading around 103.05 there. So we're really seeing some opportunities there presenting itself in that spread. Give me a call, shoot me an email. I can talk to you a little bit more in detail. Taking a look at nat gas, completely bucking the trend here. Nat gas is up right now about 10 cents. We're trading around over 424 here right now. That's about a 2.5% move here to the upside. So completely different fundamentals here shaping up here in the nat gas market. Moving on to the complex here, weaker tone there as well. At one point, both the heat and the RBOB were down over 5 cents though. Since then, though, we've kind of rallied up off the lows here just a little bit, but nonetheless still off here quite a bit. RBOB is currently down here almost 3.5 cents here. We're trading around 297 3/4 area. The heat's at around 284, just above here 284 a little bit here, and that's off around 287. So still a weaker tone there. So what do we have? What's kind of been driving this market here? What's really been happening? Well, you know what? Take a look at where crude prices have been here since April 1st. April 1st here, we were pushing up on $98 a barrel. Traders were talking about possibly seeing $100 a barrel, and then here we are today coming down below the 200-day moving average, which is around 92.50 here. We kind of blew that out of the water as we were approaching down around the $90 a barrel area here earlier today before we got a slight bounce up. And there's been a lot of selling pressure in this market. And I think basically to kind of sum it up here, one, again, look at those supply levels. I've talked about this in every post that I've basically done, and it was no surprise again this week here to see a build. Now that build wasn't as much as the trade was anticipating, but nonetheless it was still a build. Look at the year-over-year stockpiles. Look at our 5-year average. Look at our 10-year average. When I look at those numbers, to me, it shows me that the market's got ample supply out there. Now, let's talk about the demand. Well, again, this week here, the EIA announced here that they were lowering their global demand expectations here for the remainder of 2013. So again, you've got a basic classic supply and demand type situation. Now, let's couple that with some of the problems that we have going on out there. Greece. Look at gold and silver here today. A lot of pressure coming in that market. Cyprus is coming out there and they're selling some of their gold reserve in an attempt to raise some cash. You've got gold prices off over $70 here today. That's over a 5% drop in gold. And I think some of that is spilling over into certain commodities. Equities are a touch weaker, but for the most part, they don't seem to be nearly as much pressure as what we're seeing in some of the other markets. You do have the dollar strengthening a little bit as some of this foreign money selling other foreign currencies coming in and buying the dollar, so we are seeing a little bit of support there. But nonetheless, I think a real driver in that market is the fundamentals. Certainly the supply and demand situation in there. Looking at the technicals here, the market is short-term technical indicators. This market might be coming down to some slightly oversold areas, but give me a call, shoot me an email. I've got some ideas on how we can play this. With this type of volatility in these markets here, I really think there's some great opportunity. Give me a call, shoot me an email. I'll be more than happy to discuss with you some opportunities that I see, some strategies that you could try to take advantage of. My number's on the screen, my email's on the screen. And of course, remember that futures trading does involve a substantial amount of risk, may not be suitable for all traders. Good luck and good trading.